Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V, where we are intentional about connecting you with the leaders that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. It's Dr. V here, where our coaching program teaches nurses to work from your computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning your own time. Our featured guest today is Miss Tasha McCray. Tasha McCray is a retired RN and retired hairstylist. She is currently a group home owner, real estate investor, Amazon best-selling author, the founder of the Nurse REI Club, and several other real estate companies. She is also the co-founder of TNT Wealth Builders. Tasha is a passionate about helping other nurses create and generate multiple streams of income through real estate investing, which resulted in the birth of the Nurse REI Club. She enjoys her other real estate businesses and partnerships that allow her to expand and help grow others. She is a mother of 2 sons and the bonus of 5 children. Lives in Florida, where she enjoys playing tennis, golf, riding her Harley Davidson motorcycle with her husband Benny, and spending time with her family. So welcome, 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 Tasha.
Hey. Thank you for having me.
So now we'll jump right in. And so now you got pregnant when you were 13 years old. Now tell us about that. And what were your thoughts when you found out that you were pregnant?
I didn't know what to think. I was 13. Like, who knows what to think at 13? You don't know anything. I didn't know what to think, but oh my God, my mom's going to kill me. That's it. How can I hide this from her?
So now tell us the story, because it just kind of happened. And so tell us what happened.
Yeah, it just happened. Yeah. First time I had sex in my life. I got pregnant. I was a cheerleader on the cheerleading squad for my school. And I missed my period. I think about 3 or 4 of them to be exact. So I told my best friend, who was the cheerleader as well. She bought a pregnancy test. We went in the locker room, took the test. It was positive. We laid on the floor and hugged each other and cried. And we came up with a brilliant idea, a brilliant plan to just hide it. Let's just hide it. Hey, that's what we came up with. Yeah, then I hid it till I couldn't hide it anymore. So my mom, realized, oh my God, our belly is big and it's round. So she took me to the doctor and he confirmed it. And I tell you, whew.
Now, how did that conversation go? Like when she found out, how did that conversation go?
Oh my God. First she wanted me to, abort the baby. And then he was like, oh no, she's too far along for that. This was 33 years ago. I think my son's 33 years ago. So yeah, no, he said it was too late for that. And so, she went home and called all her sisters and her mom and everybody in the family. And oh my God, that's when the ridicule started. Oh, you ruined your life. Your life is over. So I was 13. I didn't know what that meant.
So, gotcha. Yep. But you didn't ruin your life. You did.
Oh, absolutely not.
Now, you said you had a lot of negative words from your mom. What is some advice you would give someone who's dealing with negative words on a daily basis?
I would say you have to have, especially if you're, a teenager, you have to have somebody positive, a positive influence in your life. That's the only way you're going to, you got to have something to counteract the negativity. You just have to, or else you're not going to be able to build that up inside of you on your own at such a young age, because behavior is taught to us and it's learned behavior. We learn from our teachers or our church, or our family, or a combination of all of that. So you have to have that one person or, one group of people who are positive. And for me, that was my grandmother. So.
Gotcha. And I think it's important too, because a lot of people are, I like what you said about having someone that will speak positive into your life. And the reality is that a lot of people don't get that. And I didn't get that at first either, but really, really being intentional about hanging out with people who are positive that is huge because you're the sum total of the people you hang out with the most. And if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And so that is huge, huge. So now your mom kicked you out. You said
Mhm.
that that was the best thing that ever happened to you. Now tell us why you say that.
Ooh, oh my God, it was. I was living in hell in that house. My son was about 5 months old. My mom made me quit school on a Monday. So Monday I didn't go to school, Tuesday, Wednesday. That Thursday, I was like, I mean, I'm just sitting here like, what am I doing? And I was in the ninth grade and I called my grandmother. It's my dad's mom. And I was like, Grandma, my mom won't let me go to school. So she asked to speak to my mom. And my mom didn't say hello or anything. She grabbed the phone and she says, come get her. Come get them. Because she's not going to school in my house. So
Mm.
grandma was like, okay. And within 10 minutes, she was there, packed our things, loaded up the car. And the same night that I moved in with my grandmother, my son and I, my 5-month-old, she said, all right, let's pray. It was time to go to bed. I was like, okay. She got on her knees. Come on. Got on my knees. She started praying for my mom,
Mm.
speaking blessings in her life. And thanked
Wow.
God that my mom allowed me to come live with her or us to come live with her. My life changed.
I love that. I
I could
love that.
I could not keep my eyes closed. I was looking at her like, is she praying for my mom?
I
How this
love it.
supposed to work? I don't know how this supposed to work. Yeah, she taught me how to pray. She taught me how to pray.
I
And
love it. I absolutely love that. That is, because you wouldn't think that she would be praying about you. She would be praying about her. She'd be praying about the situation. No, she's praying about your mama,
yep,
right?
yep. I'm
That's
telling
something.
you, she is something. That's my angel, honey. That's my angel. And my
So now,
son calls her every day.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. So now what was your rationale for seeking your nursing degree?
When I was pregnant, oh, actually, yeah, when I was pregnant with my son, I was 8 months pregnant and my appendix ruptured. Nobody knew what the problem was. When your appendix rupture and you start vomiting green stuff, and everybody's like, maybe it's something she ate. Went back and forth to the emergency room. They kept sending me home because they were like, she's 13. She's just, putting on. She's not really in pain because I didn't have any labor pain. They hooked me up to the machine. She's not in labor. So that happened for a whole weekend. Like I mean, projectile. So my mom finally took me back and said, I'm not bringing her home, taking her back home. Something is wrong. Um, Sunday came, I'll never forget. It was like probably about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. My obstetrician called in a surgeon. The surgeon came in and touched my belly, and I jumped off the bed. He said her appendix ruptured. We got to rush her into surgery.
Wow.
And they rushed me into surgery. Well, back then they were shaving bellies before surgery. I don't think they do that anymore, do they?
I think they do.
They still
I
shave
don't,
bellies.
I don't know, girl. I'm not a
I don't
surgical
think,
nurse. I'm an ER nurse.
I don't think she's like, I don't know about that. I don't think they do. I don't think they shave bellies anymore. But anyway, they were prepping me for emergency cesarean. And there was a nurse that came in the room and she started shaving my belly. And obviously she touched my, but anytime, I mean, you touch me, that was it, that much pain. And she was just like, it just felt like she was like trying to kill me. And I was like, that hurts. And I was crying. I wouldn't be still. And she said, nobody told you to get pregnant.
Ooh.
Were you screaming when you were getting this baby?
Wow.
And that's the last thing I heard. And the first thing I heard when I woke up from surgery. I just heard that in my head. And so about 2 days after that, another nurse came in, and this nurse was so sweet. She came and when I tell you, if she wasn't taking care of her patients, she was in my room.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very spiritual lady. And I told her about what happened.
Mhm.
And that nurse, she reported her, it was a big thing. She lost her job behind it, but it was just a big thing. And I was like, oh my God, the administrator called my mom. That's how she lost her job,
Mhm.
because my mom told her, yeah, that's what she said, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I said then I want to be a nurse before she lost her job. But I said, if one person can make you feel like dying,
Mhm.
in the same profession, another one can make you feel like living.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
powerful.
Mhm.
I want to do that.
I love that.
13 years old when I decided I wanted to be a nurse. 13. I
I
knew it.
lo I love it. I love it. I love it. And and it's so true. It's so true because, and that's the reason why, we are so intentional about having nurses pour into other nurses because the reality is that if, of course, we've had this nursing eat your young type of mentality, and that has been crazy, right? And I don't
Yes.
understand it. Like people would come into my office and they would be mad at like, for example, so whenever you do RSI, for example,
Mm-hmm,
rapid sequence and intubation.
mm-hmm.
You give the etomidate before you give the sucks, right? Come into my office and they will be like, well, she's been asked that question 12,000 times. And I said, if she asked it 12,001, answer the question. It is
So,
rapid sequence intubation. I said, the patient needs you, period. So anyway, I love it. I love it. So now, you became a cosmetologist shortly after getting to your nursing degree. Now,
mhm.
why the duality of the degrees?
um, Now that's something that wasn't my decision to be a cosmetologist.
Okay.
That was truly from the Lord. Like that was from the Lord. Because I did hair, as a teenager. I would do my friends' hair, family members. I didn't charge them. It was just something that's been in my family. My mom did hair. She wasn't licensed. My auntie, she did hair. She wasn't licensed, but it was always in my family. So I was just one day, it just hit me. It was like, you need to be doing hair. And I was like, why do I need to? You need to go to school to do hair. And I was like, why do I need to do that? So the next day I enrolled. Not 10 months later, I had my license. Worked in the salon a couple months, got my own salon. So ended up owning two salons in South Carolina at a young age. Yeah.
Gotcha. 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 Now, when did you discern that nursing was not for you any longer?
Ooh, I actually knew it way before I left nursing. I've been a nurse since I was 18. I graduated LPN school at 18. And it was totally different. Totally different. I mean, you could literally, like my nurse, you could literally spend the whole day like caring for your patients then.
Right.
You really could. I mean, you could take care of do your task and take care of your other patients, but you could spend the whole day just loving on your patients.
Mhm.
Well, that changed in like early 2000s. It changed. And everything was like, get them out, get them out, get them out, get them out. And it felt more robotic to me than a ministry. So I was like, I knew it wasn't for me. And I was in case management. I've been in case management since 2006. So case management is all about discharge planning. And you start discharge planning upon admission.
That's right.
So
That's
it's
right.
always about get them out, get them out, get them out. And that was always in the back of my head. So I couldn't really, I lost the connection.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost the connection.
And taking care of patients and and that's one thing that I think that we have to really really be
Mm-hmm.
expound upon
Mm-hmm.
because it is huge that we're not able to take care of the patient as efficiently, I mean, effectively, in my opinion, and have
Oh,
that
yeah.
connection, sit down and have a conversation with the patient because we have all these checklists of things that we have to do. And I mean, you're
Mhm.
absolutely right. Now, what were some of the things that you did to change the trajectory of your professional endeavors? Like, what did you do in order to get to where you are now?
Whew. I did a lot of mindset stuff before I knew it was mindset stuff.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I did a lot of personal development. Um, I became spiritual at a very, very young age. My grandparents both were Sunday school teachers, and they would take me to church. So I learned the Bible. I learned the fundamentals of religion, but I also had a personal relationship with God. So I was very spiritual at a young age. So I began to incorporate that spirituality into my professional life because I'd never done that. I had to keep it, kind of separate.
That's right.
You can't talk about religion and stuff like that. That's one of the things they teach you in school. I was service-based business, doing hair that was a faux pas. You could not talk about religion. So anyway, I learned how to incorporate my spirituality in my conversations without it sounding like it was, spiritual. And then when I did that, I developed as a woman. I found out who I really was, what I really wanted in life. And then I understood that I could just go and get it. Like I could have whatever I wanted.
That's right.
Whatever I wanted, I could have it.
That's right.
And so I just incorporated that, and I went for it.
I love it. Now, you're a real estate investor. Now, what is some advice you would give someone that is going into real estate for the first time?
Oh my God, I would say know your why, because real estate is not easy. Real estate is expensive. So if you don't know your why and your why is not strong enough, you'll lose a lot of money and you'll quit. So you got to know your why.
And I think it's too, when you think of it as money as a conduit, right? Mm-hmm. And it's that whole mindset thing, right? Understanding that money is a conduit, understanding that it is here for us to use it, understanding that, and I love what you said, because you talk about money and the flow of money. You always want your money. I always want my money working for me, right?
Always.
I love that.
Always.
I love that. You don't
never working for money.
I love what you say about, you don't like your money sitting in a bank, right? It, you want it to flow, and understanding that whenever you go into real estate, it's just bigger dollars. That's all. I mean, that's all it is. And then once you understand that, it changes the game. Now, you said that you don't have a house payment essentially. Now, how does that work?
I just learned some savvy ways of creating avenues to where I could free up my money that I've earned, and the money that I've earned, I invest that, right? So I invested in other real estate. I invested in myself. I invested in businesses so that it's working for me and I'm not working for it. So I created avenues to where I don't have to spend my money to make a mortgage payment.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, you have a group called TNT Wealth Builders, which I'm a part of, which I love, with Tamara Neely. Yep. Now, why did you start the group, and how can others join the group?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I think this whole thing started with Tamara. She's always starting stuff, right? So she was like, you own 2 group homes. I own 2 group homes, but we do things very, very differently. Like we do, she gets paid by the government, and I get paid, directly from my clients. So she was like, I think, we're both nurses, got a lot in common. I think we should start teaching other people how to open up unlicensed group homes. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's do it. So we started that, and then started, doing conferences. And I mean, huge. I mean, it was a big thing because we found out people were not teaching unlicensed group home and how you can really how to open them, the process. People weren't teaching that. So after that, then, after they attend the conference, then they'll get 90-day mentorship. And then we mentored them for 90 days, to make sure that they, had everything they need, because you know how it is. You go to a conference, you get goosebumps. Oh, you're motivated. Oh, you're pumped. And then you go home and forgot everything they talked about at the conference.
Do nothing.
You got 10 pages of notes. You don't know how to implement any of them. And you're stuck. And so we started mentoring people, and they were getting results. They were getting group homes, and they were filling them up. And so I said, well, if they're getting, these results, I said, let's just start doing daily calls with, other people, other women who are not, in the group home business, just business. They want to get into business. They want to create wealth. They want to learn about different streams, mindset, the whole thing. Let's just do morning calls. So we started that December of 2020, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. No, 7 a.m.
Oh,
yes, 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. And we had people on different time zones, and it was a struggle. So we did that for a month. So we switched in January and went to 8 p.m. and they were used to getting up. And we were used to it was like their morning coffee. And so they said, no, we'll go back to mornings, but can we just push it back an hour or not push it up an hour? And I was like, cool. So we started doing the 8 a.m. A lot of lives changed in those 7 months. A lot of people who had not attended our conference, our group home conference, were buying properties and opening group homes just based off of that, just being held accountable, us introducing them to different, ways of opening, of obtaining real estate, number one, and then allowing them to use it to open group homes and stuff like that. So it's been awesome.
But, I like what you said about, because you tweaked it, right? So initially, you were doing it at 7 a.m., then 8 p.m., and then back to 8 a.m. You tweaked it. And see, a lot of people, what happens is, they get into it, whatever fails, and then they're done. They're out. And that's the reason why so many businesses fail. You're going to have to tweak, and you're going to have to tweak all the time. You're going to have to tweak based on your client and what their needs are. Because at the end of the day, you're serving, right? And you want to make sure that you're serving in a way. So I love that, you guys found, what worked best. And now it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right?
Monday, Wednesday,
Friday,
yep.
Right.
And that's because we asked them.
Right. And understanding what your client needs are, that's huge, huge, huge. Now, you have a group home blueprint, as you said. Now, why would someone want to own a group home? And what is some of the advice you would give those that want to go into this area in their professional career?
Well, let me tell you something. At the end of the day, we are all helping people, right? But at the end of the day, it's about growing wealth, right? It's about leaving a legacy. Well, you can't leave a 9 to 5. You can't leave a legacy with a 9 to 5, because if you get fired, there's your 9 to 5. Where's the legacy in that? So we're all about ownership. That's the only way you can leave a legacy. You have to own things. If you don't own anything, what are you leaving?
You can drop the mic right there.
That's it. And so, of course we want to, help people. So that's just the group home part. But at the end of the day, it's about the real estate, because we can find a million ways to help people,
right?
But you can't leave a legacy that way.
That's right.
So you have to tie it to some asset.
I love it, and and I like how I forgot what his name, Kiyosaki. I guess that's how you say his name.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Right. Yeah. He when he talked about assets and liabilities. And so a lot of times what happens is we think that an asset is something that we actually own, when the asset really is not an asset until it's making you money.
That's
right.
It. That's it.
And that was a game changer, because I was like, well, my car is here, but my car is not making me money unless I put it on Turo, right?
Right. Right. It's not, yeah, or another platform, yeah.
Or
And your
whatever it
house,
is.
and see, people think about a house is an asset. It's not an asset if it's not bringing you money or making money for you.
And it's a
But if you have a mastermind at your house, it's an asset.
because then you don't have to pay a house payment. I love it.
Your house pays you through your business.
That's right. I love it.
So
So now, where can the audience find you?
oh, yes, they can find me at Tasha, my name, at therealmccray.com. It's TASHA at therealmccray, MCCRAY.com. I love to get emails versus a lot of text messaging and people all in the inbox. It's better that way. I can keep everything organized and I can respond better.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, thank you for showing up this morning because it's been really enlightening to see the different mindset and the shift,
Yeah.
right? Because it makes such a big difference. Now, we will be starting another cohort of VP Nursing Business Academy in October. It is a 6-month comprehensive program that leads nurses and coaches working from their computers anywhere around the world, making money and owning their own time. If this interests you, we can jump on a call so that you are able to gain clarity on how to create multiple streams of income. You can sign up at V as in Victor, P as in Paul, nursing.com. I ask that you like and share this podcast. And, the whole point of Morning Infusion with Dr. V is connecting you with leaders such as Tasha that have overcome so that you know that the possibilities are endless. You guys have a phenomenal rest of your day.